Hello and welcome to another episode of This Week in Construction, hosted by me, Steve Kurzak of Construction Sports. Tonight we are playing football. When this comes out, you will see what the score was and how much of a success it was. Construction versus Trowel, once again sponsored by our good friends RTG. So this is going to be a really good crack actually. What is going on in the construction world this week? Keltbray have hit the news. Positive news. Keltbray have landed Spurs Hotel piling job. There we go. Keltbray has landed the piling work package for Tottenham Hotspur's Football Club, the new 29-storey hotel. Does not come with a trophy cabinet, not required according to the plans. Pretty much the main focus on the plans is do not put trophy cabinet in, not needed. The engineering specialist confirmed that it had started on site making preparations for the foundations. The facility was initially approved as part of the permission granted by the £1 billion Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in 2016. If you was an electrician on Tottenham Stadium, tell me this, is this true? People were being paid £300 a day to come in as a sparky. Did they then go round and just start cutting cables so the job didn't get done any quicker? Mainly Chelsea and Arsenal fans, I've been told. It was saying, do as much as you can to sabotage the job. And I thought it is quite a funny story, really, but it's not very professional, is it? Come on. But, yeah, this is what happens when you have competitive football teams building each other's stadiums. Costain. The main headlines of the Construction Inquirer have hit the headlines with positive news for them, or positive news for a few companies. Costain signs a site labour supply deal with 4 firms. Costain has signed a site labour deal with a quartet of companies: Danny Sullivan Group, VGC, Hercules and Carmichael. Danny Sullivan Group, I used to work for them and then I actually left them to join Costain. I then left Costain's after a few years. I worked for Hercules on behalf of Costain's for a short period of time as well. So, and VGC are about there, see them. I know a few of those guys, they're all decent guys. And Carmichael's as well. I never worked with them, I knew a lot of them. They've done a lot of the site, kind of a little bit more white collarish. I thought there was more engineers at the time, but they've obviously branched into a few other bits. Interesting. So they've got the integrated labour team, 4 companies. That's going to be, according to this, Costain's head of supply chain, Sarah Thomas, said our partnership brings added value and benefits to Costain, is changing how temporary operational resource is considered. Be interesting. A number of words on this article, but yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. It's good. It's good for those companies, but I almost feel like it's a bit savage for if Costain get a deal down the road from you and suddenly got this big project. They're supposed to be supporting local business. However, this deal kind of says sod the local business off. These guys are coming in to find all your labour in that area and going to undercut them all and get them working for you. I don't know. I don't know much about it. It just seems a little bit. I'm not too sure how that kind of works. It's ring fence, isn't it? Really, is it not supposed to be a competitive market in terms of who can support certain projects in certain ways? But maybe, I've not worked with these companies for a long time, so maybe they are cut out now just to literally take over the UK construction sector on behalf of Costain. So interesting. Buckingham's hit the headlines again, but not for good reasons. It turns out the Buckingham Group's supply chain hit has doubled. So they owed 120 odd million. It's now been realised it's 256 million. What is terribly bad news, really. I worked at Buckingham's again. Worked with them as well. Worked with them for a year down at London Gateway. But yeah, interesting. You can notice it, I think, when we worked there, and I've heard there was problems with literally even the client side of things and the packages and a lot of politics involved there. It's a sticky situation with these guys. And these kind of things, when these big companies go bust, obviously they were the second biggest, or the next biggest one since Carillion, I think. So you just hope people get paid out, or if they don't get paid out, they find a way of securing a bit more work going forward to iron out those costs. Oh, go and look at Construction Wage website. Actually, it's quite interesting. They've been doing a number of articles on CEOs and people, and that the epic rise of Sir Robert McAlpine by Andrew Curtin. It's good, these. He began working in a local mine at the age of 10. There you go, Mr. McAlpine. Now he's obviously Sir Robert McAlpine. Construction Wave are doing a number of articles at the moment with regards to how certain businesses started, CEOs. Interesting. Sometimes you might think, I don't know much about these white-collar CEOs who just don't care, but sometimes you realise they all started in the same places that most of us are now, on the ground, trying to skivvy a living. Some get literally a big leg up, or some of them just hit it off at the right time, or many different ways and many different factors. But interesting world. Construction Wave, good report in there, Mr. Andrew Curting. It is a skills shortage week this week, and On the Tools are highlighting it heavily. As ever, they've done a great white paper this week called Closing the Gap. Only 45% of the UK public knows about the construction skills shortage. A new report by On the Tools has revealed that only 45% of the UK public is aware of the skill shortage in construction. Tradespeople generally believe the biggest contributing factor for the skill shortage is a negative perception of work in the industry. I can literally get my head behind that. People do, don't they? They look at construction workers. If you fail everything at school, you get a job on a construction site. No one goes through school like, I really want to become a ground worker. There obviously are people out there who do want to come, and they've come through family businesses doing carpentry or plumbing or brickwork, and fair play to them. But that's what we need to highlight. And I think Instagram does a really good job on this. Is these communities of different trades are actually all coming together to show that it's actually pretty good. Yeah, we have down days and bad times and stresses of the job, but people always moan, we're British and it's what we do. But at the end of it, these people are out there being passionate about the job they're doing and they're highlighting it. And there's a lot of youngsters now, so I think this skills gap, I reckon if we get the government to start paying a lot of these heading up on the social media, paying these guys a bit more money and putting a lot more press and media into these individuals that are representing the trowel or the shovel or the kind of sparky stuff or plumbing stuff, whatever you want to call it, plasterers, anything. There's some brilliant online stuff there. On the Tools, obviously, do a very, very good job on highlighting all that, and fair play to them. Our industry is terrible when we talk about it, but we wouldn't do anything else, would we? We love it, really, don't we? Talking of our industry, bricklaying. Super Trowel 2024, we are part of it, and we are going to be there this year. What's interesting, I popped there last year. We was a little bit tight on time with a few things last year, so we didn't get to, I didn't want to not do it any justice. So this year we've got a bit of time on our hands, and we are going to be part of the day, so that is going to go good. If you don't know what Super Trowel is, have a look at it, supertrowel.co.uk. It's literally the fastest, and also not just the fastest, but the best bricklayer in the country. It is pretty impressive what they're doing, but it's good. You know why? Because it's been started by a bricklayer, and it's literally being represented in that way, and it's going good. Actually, I'm just going to see the picture. They've had, I'm not sure they did last year, so I apologise for this, but this year they've had qualifiers. So a Northern qualifier, and then also a Southern qualifier. Ash Francis is running it all. He's gone out there, got it up and running, built himself a brilliant community of bricklayers behind the scenes, brought them all together. And you look at the website, look at the companies that are getting behind it, look at the smiling faces, the lads are all involved. Over the last few weeks, their qualifiers, the North stuff and the South stuff. Been brilliant. This is what construction needs. People to go, right, I'm doing this, and we're going to fly the flag of a certain industry. Fair play to him. Charlie Costain, who won it last year, is a local Essex lad to us as well. He's only 20 minutes down the road. We must try and find him one day. He's the crown champion, so he got a buy into the final this year, and they've had, I think, a number of other people. Is it 11 others or 22, or is it 11 qualifiers? I'll find out. I'm going to do some more homework on it over the next few weeks, because we will be part of it, and Ash himself is going to come in here to speak to us so we can help give it a bit of PR as well on our end. But be part of it, get involved. supertrowel.co.uk, sponsored by Juicens and Wienerburger. We're also going on a rally, you will see as well over the coming weeks, more coming about that. But we are going on a rally. We are driving all the way up to Newcastle. We're going to be stopping in Leeds en route to see our good friend Phil Akers at the Yorkshire Golf Academy to have a little golf challenge en route. So it'll be a quick stop, see Phil in Leeds, then head on to Newcastle before midday, and then from Newcastle head up to Edinburgh for dinner and a night's kip. From day 2, when we wake up in Edinburgh, we'll be heading to the very peak of UK, the John O'Groats village or town, whatever it is. We're heading to John O'Groats, and we'll be having a little dip in the sea. No one knows that yet, but they're going to be in the water to learn all about cold water therapy. We'll be then heading from John O'Groats and going to Fort William in the afternoon of day 2. And Fort William, we will be looking at Ben Nevis from where we are pitching up, but we will not be climbing it. It takes too long. We haven't got time. So we'll be kipping over at Ben Nevis. And then day 3, we will be heading south all the way down to Liverpool. So heading to Liverpool will be good. Never been to Liverpool before. It'll be a flying visit, but I'm hoping we should be in Liverpool by midday as well. Hopefully, if we've got a bit of time, we can do a bit of sightseeing. And then what we'll then do is jump on the road and head back from Liverpool all the way to London's NEC. That is for UK Construction Week, the exhibition that is going on the following week. We arrive back on the Friday. The exhibition kicks off after May Day, so on the Tuesday. However, when we arrive back, we'll be driving the van, all branded, into the exhibition and parking it up, ready for the exhibition to go on the following week. where we will be presenting the van and talking about everything that we've been up to on the rally. The main point of this, apart from going out and showing the camaraderie and support that goes on, that is what we're going to highlight. But there's one big highlight we are pushing out there. We want to hear from construction families affected by suicide to find out what it's really going on out there, really. So this is the raw truth of it. We constantly speak about these families as just numbers. We want to speak to these families. We're not going to go chasing them or pestering them. We're going to hopefully put the message out that we want to help support a number of construction families affected by suicide. In what way? We're going to literally get to find that out as well, get to speak to these people, get to see what's going on, and hopefully bring a few of these families together, because there's so many of them out there. But obviously, as we see, it goes very quiet after these kind of situations. It's completely understandable, but more and more suicides are happening. We need to get to the bottom of it, and if we're going to do it, we need to understand the people who are close to the people that have done this. It's going to be tough, but it's what we're about. We've got to be seen to be putting our neck above the parapet and finding out and helping as much as we can, because there is a lot we can do, and there's a lot that these people can do to give back in terms of supporting us and helping us to try and stop this from happening at such a rate of knots. We're going to get Construction Talking's event tomorrow, breakfast in London, where I'll be on the panel with a number of other guests, professionals within our industry, experts within the subject of mental health and well-being of construction. If you like to call me an expert, some of you won't. We will then be this summer, we're all going to be playing rugby. If you're interested in the rugby, get in touch. We've got the WhatsApp group now. It's climbing in the numbers. What's going well, the rugby and also football, but number of events and stuff going on. There is a tractor journey going on. I've spoken about it before, but I'll speak about it again. Tractor fever. These guys are unbelievable. They're driving tractors from Hendon in London at the Claddering all the way to Donegal on the northwest tip of Ireland. We'll be heading out of London, where we will be with them as well, as much as we can. We're trying to walk out logistics yet, but it's 26 tractors, vintage tractors, all pretty much represented by people in the construction and haulage businesses, raising money for ourselves at Construction Sport and also in aid of Western Care Association, what is a care support service over in Ireland for, I believe, young children. So amazing thank you to them. They wanted to touch on mental health and support and how they can this year, and one of the guys suggested us. It's been amazing to get support like that from people outside of our circle. We hugely appreciate it, and we were going to be doing a few things to show off their tractors soon, so more to come on that one. Once again, in the construction sector, we are seeing more and more fatalities on site through suicide. We're also hearing a lot more of them happening outside of the work site. But the HSE, when it comes to suicide, do not class it as a work issue. So it gets handed back to a coroner and no investigation gets looked into. However, the HSE do heavily promote the pressures and the risk of stress within the workplace. However, they don't, if it all goes wrong, actually investigate if someone kills himself. So they are literally the very, very, very epitome of virtue signalling. They're pretending they want to do something about it, but they're not changing the law. They're not doing regulational changes that will make sure that companies look after people properly. Because at the moment, people are being driven into stressful environments more than ever before. If you, a construction worker, are hitting your target today, guess what? We're going to up those targets next week. So you have to push all the time. We won't be happy with what you're doing. We won't give you any praise. We will push you and push you and push you. And when you can't get far enough, we will watch you fade away. You will then go away and take your own life, and we will then put it down as a personal issue. It's nothing to do with the workplace. That is pretty much the truth of it. It's raw, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. The HSE, pull your finger out, understand that it's not personal issues all the time. Sometimes I get it, they will, but the pressure of the working environment, especially construction, is a factor to what leads this industry to kill themselves. We've seen it, we hear it, we speak to many, many people of multiple kind of fatalities, and it always comes back to it. The pressure of the job is too much. Thank you very much for watching This Week in Construction. One more. Patrick Liston of Cavendish Professionals has just completed the Boston Marathon. Legend. It's his 6th marathon. He's done all the mains, the big 6, I think they call it, or whatever it's called. Pat is a great man. Heads up Cavendish Professionals recruitment across multiple sectors. A big supporter of construction sport for a very long time. And an all-round decent bloke from a decent family. And we wish him all the best in his recovery and rest this week. I'm sure he would have had 1 or 2 pints of the Black Gold Guinness. Patrick Liston, you legend. Well done. Well done. Well done. 6 out of 6. Unbelievable. I haven't done one yet. I'm going to London Marathon this week, so I'll have a little look. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. Take care of yourselves and see you soon.